right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name's Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. A quick little reminder before we get started that even though the 2022 is coming to an end, we still have a jam-packed month of live events for classrooms going pretty much right up until the start of Christmas break. So do take a little visit to exploringbytheseat.com where you can find all the events we have coming up. It's a big month. We've been doing live events in the field in places like Costa Rica, in places like Antarctica. Just yesterday, we were live with the Delhi Penguins near McMurdo Station. We have big themes like celebrating health in the human body, talking to researchers who are looking for cures to different illnesses and diseases. And of course, in December, we always feature big cats. We talk to researchers, conservationists from around the world, and they share the amazing projects that they're doing to help protect these amazing big cat species. Now, this morning, we have another special treat. I love when we get to do these live events, when we get to take virtual field trips to places around the world. And this morning, we get to connect with our favorite team down in Nicaragua. We have Dr. Pamela Fletcher, who will be joining us. She's the program director for the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center. And we're also going to meet some of the amazing team from the Nicaragua Sea Turtle Project, amazing members of the community who have dedicated so much of their time to conserving sea turtle species. They are doing absolutely incredible work. And we are really lucky as well to have Martin joining us from Florida. He is going to act as translator today. He's also going to help us with a little Q&A action. So let's start bringing in some of those team members to start saying hello. We'll start with Martin. Martin, how are we doing today?
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
All right. It is great to have Martin with us. Martin is the project manager for the Sea Turtle Project. So it's awesome to have him with us. And then let's bring in our live team in Nicaragua. Let's bring them in there as well. Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias. How's everyone doing?
Hola.
All right. Well, it is awesome to have everybody today. We have a real special treat. We're going to get to learn about the project. We're going to have a Kahoot quiz together. We'll have Q&A time. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what I think I'll do, Martin, is I'll let you take over for a bit. We'll let the team start to share with us a little bit of what they do. And then after that, we'll have some Kahoot. We'll have some questions. It's going to be great.
All right. Thank you, Joe. So good morning, everyone. Very excited to have everybody here today. We're going to go right now and go live with the team in Nicaragua, and they are going to show us the work they do every day to protect these amazing sea turtles. We'll start with, the overall what they do from day to day, and then we'll head out to the hatchery to do our relocation, and then we will go live to release some sea turtles. So take it away, team in Nicaragua.
Good morning. So can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Super. All right. So I am here with our team on the ground in Las Peñitas, Nicaragua. Ana is going to lead us through a demonstration of all of the monitoring protocols for when a nesting mama comes up on the beach. And then we'll take a look at the hatchlings later on. So Ana, go ahead, take it away.
Hola, buenos días. Saludos desde Nicaragua. Bueno, vamos a saludos desde Nicaragua. Estamos el equipo de mujeres del proyecto FCOLC.
Good morning. They're saying good morning. Welcome to Nicaragua. This is the women's team, from the FCOLC team in Nicaragua Sea Turtle Program. And so they work up the sea turtles, and they're going to walk us through the steps of what they do.
Voy a comentarle un poco de del trabajo que realizamos en nuestras playas.
So they're going to let us show us the work they do on the beach.
A nuestras playas arriban 4 especies de tortuga marina, lo que es la tora, la torita, la carey y la plasma, que es la que tenemos en este momento.
And the beaches in Nicaragua where we have our program, guys, we have the 4 sea turtle species that come up. We have the leatherback, we have the olive ridley, the hawksbill, and the green. So we're very lucky to have all 4 there.
El trabajo que realizamos, lo primero es observar que la tortuga no traiga ningún tipo de lesión.
When the sea turtle comes up to nest, the first thing they do is check the sea turtle, see if she's okay. Does she have any cuts, any that is not normal, anything that in her health. That's number 1. We check her health.
Lo primero en observar es que nuestra tortuga no traiga lesión en su cuello, en sus aletas y en su caparazón.
So they check the flippers, the head, the shell, the tail. They check it all the way around.
A continuación, lo que procedemos a hacer, después que ya la hemos observado, si ella en su momento trajera alguna lesión, tanto en aletas como en cuello, se desinfecta. A continuación vamos a proceder en lo que es el enchapado. Este equipo nos ha permitido poder observar cuántas veces ella arriba a nuestras playas y contar cuántas anidaciones tenemos de ellas.
So we flipper tag the sea turtles very carefully, following protocols, and it's a good opportunity because once we flipper tag them, we see and we can tell when they come back to the beach to nest. So, an example, 2 years ago, we had the same sea turtle come back 7 times, and the only reason why we know that is because we flipper tag them to see where they come and go.
Ahora vamos a proceder a lo que es a desinfectar lo que es la chapa. Ellas tienen un código y un número. Procedemos a desinfectarla y después ponemos en lo que es.
First step is to clean all the equipment and the tag. So they take iodine alcohol and they clean all the equipment. Then they will place the tag on the flipper of the sea turtle. And this tag has a special number that goes with it and a special email. So anyone that runs to a sea turtle can email us and let us know, hey, the sea turtle came up in Mexico, came back El Salvador, or as far as she goes.
Vamos a desinfectar lo que es la aleta derecha y marcamos en lo que es la tercera escama. Segunda escama.
So they also clean the sea turtle, the flipper, and they install the flipper tag on the second scale.
La numeración de la chapa es NI 0986.
So the team, while the one team member's doing this, the other team members are recording the data. So they write numbers like the tag number. They document anything they can to help.
La letra izquierda.
Documenting the sea turtle. So she gets 2 flipper tags, a right and a left.
Procedemos a desinfectar y marcamos en la segunda escama. Después de terminado lo que es el marcaje, la Candy viene a medir. Hola, buenos días. Vamos a medir. Largo.
So after flipper tagging, we also collect data. We measure the sea turtle length and width, and that is documented.
71.
And then when she comes back, we can tell with the flipper.
Este marcaje que se le hace es en el momento que ella está desobando sus huevos. Después que ella ha terminado de desovar sus huevos, vamos a proceder lo que es el pesaje.
So now they're going to weigh it.
So they're preparing a little scale with a tarp, and they'll put the sea turtle in the tarp and then do the reading. And I know this looks way easier. It's a lot lighter with a stuffed animal and a shell on the sea turtle, but normally this is not as easy. And when the female is moving, it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, and sometimes it's raining and it's dark. So
5.1. Dale, Sana. Después que nuestra tortuguita desovó sus huevos, ella puso la cantidad de 42 huevitos, 41. Vamos a proceder a lo que es su sembraje a nuestro vivero.
So after the team does all the work, the sea turtle, and laid her eggs, we locate the eggs very carefully to our hatchery. This sea turtle laid 48 eggs. And then we will go to the live to the hatchery, guys. Right after this, you guys can see all the nest. So now, guys, we're gonna go into relocating the nest. This is Belky. She's one of our, persons that takes care of all of our babies down in Nicaragua.
Mi nombre es Belky. En esta mañana le vamos a mostrar lo que es la sembrada de nuestro nido de que la tortuga puso.
So we're going to show you guys how she relocates the nest once it's brought back safely to our hatchery.
Vamos a proceder a hacer lo que es un nido de 45 centímetros de profundidad.
So just start by excavating the nest. The nest is 45 centimeters deep by 12 wide.
Vamos a sembrar 41 huevillos, que son 3 docenas y media.
48 eggs will be relocated.
So for the olive ridley sea turtle, the depth of the nest when they're moved and the eggs are moved to the hatchery is typically 45 centimeters. For other species of sea turtles, such as the leatherback, which is our really big sea turtle, it's approximately 60 centimeters that those nests are dug, the depth where they're relocated.
Como pueden ver y observar, hemos puesto nuestros huevos en lo que es el nido. Sí, lo vamos. Ahora vamos a taparlo.
So now she's going to cover up the eggs carefully.
Yep. And olive Ridley, guys, hatch out 45 days after. The leatherbacks, 65 days after. Hawksbills, Dr. Fletcher, how many days hawksbills hatch out?
We haven't had enough nests here on this beach to get the average for you. We only had 2, I think, in the entire time we've been working here. So each location has a little bit of a different variability. So until we get more nests from the hawksbills, I would wait to answer that question.
Thank you.
Una vez incubado, esperamos lo que es 45 días para que ellos eclosionen y salgan nuestras tortugas baby.
45 days for the olive Ridleys. That's the nest that we relocated. So 45 days later, we should be seeing hatchlings. Thank you, Belky.
Okay, so now we're going to head over to the hatchery. We've got a clear sunny day today, so I'm hoping that we have no issues with our data. And Martine, I would just ask that you walk us through any of the steps that you see us taking in case the audio doesn't work as well as we would like it to today. But we've got a great morning with the estuary here. Pretty empty. We have a full moon on Wednesday, so the extreme tides, you can see them. The water sometimes fills all the way up here, and these boats are in the water floating right now. It's pretty dry here in the estuary.
All right. Well, it looks like a beautiful day today. Nice and clear. And a huge thank you to the team for that great description of the work that they do when they do find a sea turtle nesting on the beach. Maybe, Dr. Fletcher, we'll get lucky one day and we'll be able to see one of the nesting turtles, and we'll get to see them wrestling to weigh one of the really big, heavy ones.
Oh, I'd love to have you see that. It's not easy, and it's normally at night. So I think most of the students could be in bed, but you never know. We do have nests sometimes laid during the day.
All right, very cool. Well, I know we're going to make our way to one of the boats to head out. So maybe while we're doing that, we can do our Kahoot quiz. And then as the boat is heading to the hatchery, maybe we can start a little bit of our Q&A action.
Okay.
Sounds great.
All
That's
right.
good.
So we'll keep that view up so we can still see the boat as they make their way out in the corner. Sometimes the signal can go in and out, so we'll see how cooperative it is today. But for now, let's get ready for a little sea turtle Kahoot quiz. So I'm going to share my screen in just a moment here. And when I do that, we can get our classrooms ready. So the website we want to go to is kahoot.it. So if you go to kahoot.it, it's going to ask you for a PIN number. And I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. And that PIN number is going to come up. And then you can enter that PIN number. So just a quick reminder, if you are lucky enough in your classroom to have a one-to-one device, maybe a tablet or a Chromebook at your desk, you can join directly. If not, no big deal. Your teacher could put the Kahoot up at the front of the classroom and you can shout out your answers to him or her. But let's get my screen shared and let's get this Kahoot started before we start doing some questions. So here is your PIN number. After you go to kahoot.it, the PIN for today is 824-7662. So we'll give a couple minutes to get some classrooms loaded in and ready to go. And as we do that, I'll just remind everybody that there'll be 4 questions. Some are true and false. Some are multiple choice. And then if you get the answer right, you're going to get points. If you get it right and you do it really quickly, you'll get even more points. If you get it wrong, but you do it as fast as you can, It doesn't matter. No points. We got to get the right answer and as quick as you can. I see lots of students jumping in already, which is great. Let's do a quick check-in and see the progress we're making. It looks like we're still making our way to the boat in the estuary. Very cool. Lots of students joining us, so we'll give another minute until I see the names slow down. We've got really cool names joining us here. We've got the mountain mouse. We've got the expert panther. We have the giving ferret, the classy hen. Very, very cool. I'll keep an eye out and see if I see any sea turtle names pop in with the auto load. All right. And then Martine, you must be looking forward to January. I know you're going to head out and spend some time out there with the team.
Yes. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have our leatherback being hatched. So, it's very exciting January time for us. We're going to reach a milestone of 100,000 sea turtle eggs to be relocated in January. So very exciting time in January to be in Nicaragua. We can do this again. We'd love to have everybody back over there. We can even do a nighttime one, if we have a sea turtle come up.
Absolutely. That's amazing, Martine. We are definitely in for that. And like I said, call me anytime. Doesn't matter how late or early it is. If there's a leatherback or there's some we'hatching, I want to see what's going on. Very cool. Okay. Well, I think we've got over 100 groups and students into the quiz already. So I'm going to give it maybe 10 more seconds because I still see names joining, and then we're going to go live with our quiz. Then we'll see what's going on the boat, and we'll start doing some Q&A as we head over to the hatchery. So I'm just going to switch back to the quiz here. All right. And I think I want to get started, but I do still see lots of students popping in, so we're going to give them another couple seconds to get in. I did see the red turtle, so we do have one turtle name in there, and there might be some more hiding there. I might have just missed them. All right, it looks like things have calmed down a little bit, so I am going to get, the silly turtle. We got another turtle name in there. Very cool. Okay, I think it's time to get this quiz started. So here we go. You've got a 3-second lead up to our first question. Let's see how well we were listening. If you don't know the answer, feel free to take a guess. That's okay too. So our first question, how many sea turtle species are there in the world? Are there 3? Is there 5? Is there 7? Or is there 10? So how many sea turtle species do we have in the world? 3, 5, 7, or 10. You've got 5 more seconds to lock in your answer, and then we'll find out how we did. So most students went with 7. Good job, crew. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. The Wonder Gnu is in first place. Let's see what happens after question 2. So this question here, how many species nest in Nicaragua? So we heard this at the beginning. How many of those 7 species? Is it 2 of them, 4 of them, 5, or all 7? How many of those 7 species nest in Nicaragua? All right, good job, crew. The right answer is 4. We've got the green sea turtle, the leatherback, the olive ridley, and the hawksbill turtle. Am I right there, Martine? Those are the 4?
That's correct. Good job.
Perfect. All right. The fast dolphin has jumped into first place. We've got our third question now. What's the largest species of sea turtle? Is it the eastern hawksbill? Is it the leatherback? Is it the olive ridley? Or is it the green sea turtle? Now there's a picture being revealed as the seconds tick by, which will give you a little bit of a clue. Is it the hawksbill, the leatherback, the olive ridley, or the green? All right. Amazing, students. You are right. The leatherback. I think it is so cool that one year they had the same female turtle return 7 times to the beach to lay eggs. I'm so jealous. I would love to see a leatherback sea turtle, one of the largest reptiles in the world. I think they can weigh close to 1,000 pounds. Absolutely incredible. And then Martine, what do those leatherbacks like to eat?
The leatherbacks like to eat.
Yeah, what do the leatherbacks like to eat? I know the green sea turtles like algae and things like that, but I know that the leatherbacks eat something a little bit different.
Dr. Fletcher, can you clarify what they?
We usually, can you hear me okay? I know we're underway with the motor. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We got you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, super. So we're just heading out now. We're leaving the estuary, heading up a little lagoon river type of area, and we'll be on the island. The question about the leatherback sea turtles, I know you've got students who could answer that question. Anybody want to put their response in the chat?
Okay, let's do
They're
that.
Clear there.
You can put it in the YouTube chat. You can put it in the private chat. Let's see if anybody out there knows it.
Anybody taking a guess yet?
What are those leatherback sea turtles munching out there in the ocean?
We don't like them. Sometimes they can sting us, right?
Yeah, not our favorite.
Are you seeing a lot of correct answers, jellyfish?
I didn't. Oh, yeah, there we go. They all came in at the same time. We had Mr. Hancock's shouting out jellyfish, Ms. Lango's class, Ms. Avio's class. They were all yelling jellyfish. Good job.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute us because the motor will get loud over here.
All right, we've got one more question to wrap up our quiz, and then maybe we'll do a little Q&A. So the fast dolphin is still in first place. We're going back to true and false. Sea turtles, can they retract or hide? Can they bring their head and their flippers into their shell? We know sea turtles on land can do that. Is it true or false? They can do it. True or false? They can pull their flippers, they can pull their head right into their shell if they need to. Ooh, we tricked a lot of students on that one. A few said false, and that's absolutely right. The sea turtles, unlike their friends on land, they cannot pull their flippers. They cannot pull their head into their shells. And we do an event sometimes with the Sea Turtle Hospital in the Florida Keys, and we often will see sea turtles who are missing a limb. Maybe it got caught in some fishing net. Maybe a shark bit that flipper off, so they cannot hide. They cannot pull their head and flippers into their shell. So let's take a look at our final podium here. In third place, we've got the fast dolphin. That means we have a new person in first. The second place is the Rockstar Bunny. And our number one for today is the Giving Ferret. All right. Good job, crew. Thanks so much for playing along. Let's see how our video is cooperating. Let's see if we still have a nice signal coming in from our crew out on the boat. It looks like we do. Let's bring them full screen here. There they are. Hey, everyone. Look at that. It's a little bit, the video is a little bit slow, but it's a nice clear day, so we can still see them making their way in that motorboat, making their way towards the hatchery. I can't wait till we get there, and we'll get to see how many of those little baby sea turtles hatched overnight, and hopefully we'll get to see some go down the beach and make their way into the ocean to start that crazy journey to hopefully make it to adulthood. But I know it's something like 1 in 100 or maybe even higher, Martine. It's not a lot that of those baby sea turtles are going to make it to be adults.
Not a lot. It says 1 in 1,000.
Wow. It is a tough thing to be a baby sea turtle.
It's a tough thing. Yeah, they have to, they have to, get through predators. Number one, once they hatch, they have to walk crawl a little bit to get to the water. Then you have the birds that try to eat them, of course, when you first release them. And then you have all the other animals, sharks and barracudas out there that try to eat them. So we try to release our hatchlings at the time that the birds are resting. We try to time it as best as we can because there's a lot of birds here at this point of the year, and they do go after them. You can see them going and picking them out of the water. So
All
we
right.
try to do as best as we can to give them a head start, help them out a little bit by, minimizing some of those predators, outside of the water, outside of the ocean. Once they get in there, they are on their own. You can see the birds, some birds.
Yep.
There.
In the
And
mangrove.
it's about, so the mangroves, yeah, this mangrove. So this is an estuary that, it takes about 10 minutes to get from the office headquarters where we had the presentation. It's accessible by boat. Once we get there, you guys will see we have our research station there. We have hatcheries. Right now we have 2 hatcheries. So
Okay. It looks
it's
like
a
they
very
might.
neat-
It looks like they might be heading to shore shortly. So why don't we start a few questions? Martine, you can help us with the questions, or Dr. Pamela could jump
Sure.
in as well. So we'll do a few questions while we continue the journey to the hatchery. So I'm going to start off. We're going to go to some grade 1s hanging out with Mrs. Doyen.
Wow.
So I'm going to bring them in front and center.
My knowledge.
What do you think, grade 1s? Are you enjoying the field trip today?
Yes.
Oh, so cool. It's great to have you.
We were wondering, how long can some of these species of turtles stay underwater?
Oh, cool question.
Ooh, great question.
That's almost a trick question. I'm just going to pop in and let you know what's going on here, and then I'll answer that. So the tides are so low. This is the first time this has ever happened for me, but we are really, we call them skinny waters. It's only about 6 inches water depth. So we're actually having our captain and some of the team members help push us through so we can get to shore. So the question about how long a sea turtle can hold its breath underwater, that's going to be a variable question. It depends, of course, on the size of that sea turtle, and it depends what they're doing. So if it's a turtle who's actively swimming and moving around, the estimates are 7 minutes, but if they're sleeping, the estimate can be up to 7 hours. So there's lots of different numbers. If you guys are Googling, trying to get an answer, you would see a lot of variability, but think about the size of the turtle matters. And also, just like you, if you're running, goodness, you're going to have so much breath in your lungs, but it's going to be coming in and out. So it depends on if they're actively doing something or if they're just kind of hanging out.
All right. Very, very cool. Thanks, first graders. Great question to get us started. Let's bring in another classroom here. Looks like we're underway as well. So Mrs. Klepper and Miss Getty's crew, how are we doing today?
Great, thank you. Who has a question? Come on up, since you.
I have a question.
Go ahead. What's your question?
How long can turtles live? Sea turtles live?
Oh, great question. So about how long?
Also, again, it depends on the species. It depends on the species of sea turtles. We go back to that. So leatherbacks can get to live a very long time. Some of them said 70 years, 80 years, 100 years. I don't think ever measure exactly, or we can exactly know, but they can live a very long time.
Yeah, and that's why the flipper tags are so important. That kind of sea turtles are so secretive. We don't know what they're doing most of the year, but if we can see those tags year after year, that can help us learn a little bit more about where they're going and how long they're living and things like that.
Yeah.
All right. Great question from our group in New Jersey. And it looks like we're walking towards the hatchery. So we're making some good progress.
Yeah, how's the video and the audio going?
The audio is beautiful. The video is a little slow, but I think once you get to the hatchery, it'll get a little bit better for us.
Okay, fantastic.
While we wait, we'll bring in Mrs. Lango's crew. How are we doing, everybody? There they are. All right.
Michael, say your. All right. So this is Michael.
Hey, Michael.
So what is the best way to keep sea turtles safe?
Oh, good question.
What is the
best way to keep them
What was
safe,
it?
Martine?
You mean the big sea turtles or the baby sea turtles?
Yeah, like the baby.
the babies?
Well, what we do is, for now, once we relocate the nest, we take it to the hatchery, as you will see, and then they hatch. And the hatchery is a area that is closed in with thick screen, and it's got metal on the bottom, so no animals can dig and get into it. So the hatchery, as you can see in the video, that's where we keep them in there. And we have predators that won't go in there. Like, they could be possums, they could be they could be flies. The flies can infect the eggs sometimes. So we keep them safe in here 45 days, 55 days, and then we bring them out and then we release them, like you will see right now.
Yeah, I was in Costa Rica a few weeks ago, and we visited a site where we saw many nests had been predated. So things like raccoons got out onto the beach, and they find those nests and dig them up. So that screen is so important to protect those nests.
Yeah, and we dig underneath a good foot, and we put wood down there. So if they try to dig and get in there, they can't. So they can get very creative. So we have gotten very creative ourselves to keep them protected.
All right. And it looks like we're heading into
and then
the
of course we have a nighttime. We have a nighttime caretaker too. So they get watched 24/7. We have a rotating team. So we're there at night and we're there in the day. So we guard them 24 hours a day until we release them to the ocean, as you will see.
All right. We'll pause the questions because it looks like the team at the hatchery is ready to tell us something.
Yeah, so let's do a video audio check. Are we good?
Yep, sounds great.
Fantastic. So Belki and Itzayana are going to walk us through the nest excavation. So great questions from the classrooms, and now you'll get to see exactly how that works.
Bueno, ahora vamos a revisar lo que es el nido.
So she's going back to one of the nests that she knows will be hatching out soon.
So hopefully they're hatched so you guys can see them.
Haha, I'm getting the call to come closer. Let's see what that means.
Como pueden observar, ya nuestras tortugas ya nacieron y vienen.
Can you see? Can everybody see what's happening there?
So they have hatched. So we're going to give them a little help excavating, getting them out, so we can go release them.
All right. Looks like we're getting lucky today. Looks like 4 already. I can see them moving around a bit. I think they're ready. Very cool. Well, we bring.
Can everybody see the babies?
We see them, Dr. Fletcher. They look great. It looks like a good group of them. Well, you're bringing the turtles up. I'm going to pop in another classroom for a question here. So I'm going to bring in Mrs. Avila's class. I know that they've got a question for us. They told me they do in the chat, so I'll bring them in and we'll grab that question while the turtles are coming up. So this group is in Florida. So Martine, they're in Miami.
All right, Victoria, go ahead.
Oh, all right, go Canes.
How did you get the idea of taking care of the sea turtles?
Oh, can you a little bit louder? I missed part of that. How big?
How did you get the idea of taking care of the turtles?
Oh, great question. Martine, they're wondering, how did you guys come up with the idea to protect the turtles like this?
I couldn't hear you. You broke up, Joe.
Yeah. So she's wondering, Martine, where did the idea come from to protect the turtles like this?
Well, the idea came in Nicaragua from Dr. Fletcher, and I were visiting Nicaragua, and we went to Isla Juan Venado, and we ran into these amazing people in the community, and they told us all about the sea turtles. And then after we found out about the sea turtles and all the story and how they come up and how many, Dr. Fletcher put a proposal together and met some people and made it happen. Thanks to the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center that for making this happen. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of people, but the idea from Nicaragua came from the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center and Dr. Fletcher working together.
Yeah, and I mean, look what can come from an idea. You'll be hitting 100,000 turtles this year, baby turtles. Absolutely amazing. All right, as more turtles come up, let's bring in Miss Ramos' crew. I know they have a question. They're in Miami as well.
Right, Miami.
48 tortugas baby han nacido.
48 completamente.
48.
The entire nest hatched, so it's 100% hatching. So all these wonderful ladies are the ones who have taken care of these turtles and the girls here, but every egg hatched in this
Amazing.
nest.
48.
Congratulations, right? Woo!
Great work, team. All right, Miss Ramos class, I see someone front and center. What's your question, bud?
How old could the leatherback turtle get?
Okay, so it's a tricky one. How old can a leatherback turtle get? Yeah.
I couldn't hear you, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. He's wondering about the leatherback sea turtles. How old do we think they can get? No, I don't know if Martine can hear me right now. Dr. Fletcher, were you able to hear that?
Well, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Joe. What was the question?
Yeah, Martine, they were wondering how old do we think leatherback sea turtles can get?
Ahora vamos lo que es el pesaje.
I mean, I read they can get to be up to 100 years old.
Yeah.
It all depends.
Yeah, we still have research to do, but potentially 80, 90, 100 years old. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Thanks,
we're heading out of the hatchery and we'll be watching how the ladies and girls measure and weigh each of the hatchlings. Most of the nests, they look at approximately 10 to 20 sea turtles from each nest to get an estimate. So we'll look and see that process now. This tells us about this particular population of sea turtles and estimates of size from each nest. So Belky will walk us through that process.
All right.
So she's preparing her data book, and she has a scale and what we call a caliper to measure. So here's the scale. And let's take a peek at those babies because they're just coming out of the nest. They're a little sleepy, just like all of us waking up this morning, getting ready for school. They're not yet ready to get to school.
The bus is not there
Anna's
yet.
going to help Belky with the data recording.
So Mr. Hancock's crew is joining us via YouTube, and they were wondering how hard it is for those little babies to dig through the sand to get back out.
Ahora vamos a mostrarle lo que es la medida y el pesado.
I'll answer in a sec.
29 el arco.
It's pretty hard, Joe. So
y 34 de ancho del caparazón.
So what Belky
So
is
they're
doing
measuring the
now is
width?
she's measuring the length and the width and then the height. So from belly to their back. So from your belly button to your spine, she does 3 measurements for each of the little turtles. And then she'll put the hatchling on the scale. And it weighs, anybody want to take a guess at how many grams? We're using grams for weighing.
All right, let's pick a class here. Mrs. Lango's class, how many grams do you think that turtle weighs? You guys have a guess? 25 grams.
What's the answer, Martin?
Are we close?
Hi, Miss Lang. Hi, Miss Lang's class. Say hi, everybody from Nicaragua is saying hi. How
So
many grams do you think that baby sea turtle weighs?
We've got 13,
Okay,
we've got
Wow.
5, we've got 5.
We're everywhere between 8 and 25.
So I think they might be having a little trouble hearing us. It looks like the signal might have froze. So,
Okay, so on average, ours weigh approximately 18 grams.
18 grams. All right.
That
So
one was
pretty close.
15 that time. So they're variable, but on average, it's usually 18. Yeah, great job.
All right.
So Joe, can I talk about where the team actually stay? If I take a step back, can you see and hear me okay?
Yep, you're still coming in nice and clear, Dr. Fletcher.
Super. So if the students remember, there was a hurricane in October that came through this area. So passed from one side of Nicaragua, the Caribbean coast, to the Pacific coast. And our location was impacted. So right now we have this, it looks like a rancho, we call them, or a little ranch, a cabana, where the team used this location when they're out walking the beach each night. The team come out around 5 o'clock in the evening and will walk the beach looking for the nesting sea turtle mamas every night, almost till 5 o'clock the next morning. So in this station is where we have a security guard to monitor the nest hatcheries, like all of the places where we just took that one nest out of. So to monitor the hatcheries. And then you can see here they have a little kitchen. So they cook out here because they're here for supper and they're here for breakfast. And so they spend a lot of time at this location.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour job. So we have a night person there, a day person, and we rotate. We get tired, so. So we measure an average of 20 of them, Joe. We will measure every single one of them. We measure 20. And if we see one that doesn't look right, we measure that one, of course, and we document it. Sometimes the one with one of the little flipper tags, a little small, we'll release them. We document that. Sometimes their shelf is a little, weird. So, not all perfect.
Yeah, lots of variation, I imagine.
Yes.
Wow, it's probably
And then of course, the leatherback babies are bigger. The leatherbacks are big. The leatherback babies are bigger and they weigh more. So,
yep.
If anybody wants to take a guess how much a leatherback average is of a baby.
Oh yeah, we can definitely have somebody make a guess. Who put your hands up in your class if you have a guess how much the leatherback babies might weigh? We'll pick a class and we'll try Mrs. Avila's class. Do you guys have a guess how much the baby leatherbacks might weigh?
I think they weigh.
How many grams do you think?
Okay, we have a 20. What else? 34 grams, 20 grams.
20 grams, 34 grams. Let's get one more guess.
Woo! 29?
Getting close.
You're getting close. What do you think?
What else? Yes. 25? 23? 14?
I think we need to go a little higher. What do you think?
Higher. Oh. 28?
Use the leather back.
I heard a 48.
48? Higher or lower than 48?
What do you think? We've got 48 as their high
I
guess.
think the odds are around. Yeah, I think the
On
odds are around
average-
35 to 30. Yeah.
To 40. Yep. It's to do about 35 to 40. Great job, Miss Avila's class. Good job.
Great job.
Very cool.
So, Belky,
Hemos pesado 20 tortugas baby.
so they've weighed and measured 20 of the hatchlings.
All right. I think that means it might be time. Are we going to get to see some beach action now?
Yes, the fun stuff.
This must be everybody's favorite part when they get to watch the young turtles make their way down the beach.
So they were all placed in one pan, and then the pan will be taken down to the ocean. The release.
The release.
So, Joe, if we lose connection, just I'll be monitoring what the video looks like, and I'll take a couple of steps back. We'll see how we do, because this part you guys can't miss.
Absolutely. And Dr. Fletcher, if it gets really bad, you can always try to exit and come back in. Sometimes that helps.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, here we go. I hear the ocean. I see the ocean. And so, Dr. Fletcher, is it important that they have this little trip to crawl in on their own? Does it help them build their muscles?
I don't know about that, Joe. I'm not sure, but we bring them down to the beach because we've had them in that hatchery. They're just waking up, and we want to reduce any sort of other impact. So if there were birds, Martine mentioned earlier, we would not do a release. But now today looks good. We're going to let them crawl in from a one area, not just right at the surf. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Is the video getting jumpy? Okay.
Looks pretty good still.
So fantastic. So we bring them so that they can crawl some of the way down the beach, but not all the way. I'm going to turn around and show you if they were to crawl back from the hatchery. Do you see how steep that is there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So we do give them a little lift here. So maybe they're not as strong as they could be or should be, but we help them down this far and they walk the rest of the way. So we have Diana and Itzayana and Jenny, Ada. We have the whole team there who are going to help do the releases. For safety reasons, we use gloves, so we don't give them cooties. They don't give us cooties.
All right, the big moment. Here we go.
Oh, they're ready.
Yeah, we're moving already. I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna bring our classrooms in. I want to hear them. So let's hear some cheering. Cheer those baby sea turtles on. I'm gonna bring the classes in. If you guys want to cheer a little bit for the sea turtles, here we go. You want to cheer them on? Go turtles, go! All right, I think that's definitely helping. No question. So cool. There we go. 49 of them making their way to the ocean. There they go.
So cool.
All right, a busy day. for those
Okay, so
turtles.
this is one of the things. Can you see what's happened here?
I see a bird. Yeah, frigate bird looks like.
Yeah. So what we may do is put them back and release them in a little while. We'll put them in the shade and keep them safe, because what we've noticed is that sometimes they are picked up off the shore, and we want to help them out as much as we can.
Yeah, good spotting. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's for the best, because we want to give them the best chance they have, and I know those frigate birds will be very interested in watching those turtles.
Yeah, what we find is there's one, and then all of a sudden there's a dozen. So
Yeah, good plan. So there we go, students. We got to see the turtles making their way, but then we also got to see some of the dangers, and those frigate birds would be more than happy to swoop down.
So Belky is explaining that the release will hold off on the release because of the frigate birds.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Let's talk about the successes. There were all 48 eggs have hatched, and they all look good. They all look healthy, and they'll be released once the birds depart. Thank you, Joe. Thank you to all of the classes. Fantastic questions. If you have any more, I'm happy to stay back and answer those too.
Yeah. Dr. Fletcher, if you are able to, can you record the release later and I could share it with the students?
Absolutely.
Perfect. I'll share it with all the classrooms today. So close, but we have to protect those turtles, and those frigate birds were definitely very interested.
Great. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. And I work in Miami, so if any of the Miami schools want me to come over and do a presentation or show them anything with sea turtles, I'll be more than happy to come out to the school in Miami.
All right. I will message Mrs. Avila and Mrs. Ramos' class, because maybe they'll want to take you up on that offer. I'm going to bring our class. There's a few who stuck out for their recess, but I'm going to bring a few who are still with us for a big goodbye and thank you. Miss Doyen's crew, Mrs. Klepper and Miss Getty. Who else is still with us? Mrs. Avila's crew. Everybody who tuned in online, thank you so much. What a great way to start the day. And we can't wait to see that video once those frigate birds get out of there. And then we can safely get those turtles into the water. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the amazing team.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Martine. Thank you, Dr. Fletcher. That was really great. What a great way to start the day.
Thanks so much. Everybody on the team is saying gracias. Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you. All right, we're going to sign off for today.